Is this fair for my 38F husband, 40F, to ask of me? My husband and I relocated to another province in 2020 due to his work. He makes quite a lot more than me. 700,800K versus my 100K. We were unmarried at the time of our move. He has at least 1.5 mm in savings. I'm unsure the exact amount. And I have 300K in retirement savings. Our accounts are completely separate. When we first moved, he had told me he would pay for the bulk of the household expenses. Rent, my car, groceries, electricity. As we progressed in our relationship, got engaged, he informed me he didn't feel comfortable paying for the majority of the household expenses anymore, and that I should contribute. No problem. I took on my car payments, groceries, internet bill and electricity bill, $2,000 per month. I also do 100% of household chores. He cuts the grass and may take out the garbage once in a while. Nothing else. He put a large down payment on a house and pays the full mortgage, car and house insurance, and dinners out, $3,400 per month. When we go home every 6 months, he spends money on food, $1,000 per week. But he is a compulsive saver. He won't spend any money on himself and does not buy me birthday, Christmas, anniversary gifts. I also have bought almost everything needed for our first child. Now we are married and have a 6-month-old child. He told me when I first got pregnant that I need to keep up with all my household bills, and if I don't make enough, I have to dip into my savings to cover them for the remainder of my maternity leave. We live in Canada and have the choice of 1 year or 18-month maternity leave. He insists that I take the full 18-month maternity leave to be there for our child. The last 6 months of maternity leave will be unpaid. Note: I do not have access to any of his money and he does not access to mine. I have raised concerns about having another child with him because I simply cannot afford to cover the bills and not deplete my savings if I have another child right away. He wants another child ASAP because of my advanced age. He says if I don't want another child, he wants to split all household expenses 50-50. Right now they are about 65-35. Every time we argue, he brings up the fact that he pays more for our household expenses and holds it over my head. I am kind of stuck in corner and guess I just want to know, is this fair of him to ask this of me? I wonder what a divorce court judge would say about them finances. WTF? This is no marriage. This is financial and emotional abuse. Give me a second child or I'll charge you more for our monthly expenses. Just WTF? My wife and me, I make 70% of our total income. Combine our incomes on a joint account. We pay almost everything from that account and have joint savings. We both have the same amount in monthly allowance, and each of us have a small personal savings account. I feel very fine with this arrangement. No way I'd let my wife pay her maternity leave. No fucking way. Are you on the deed of the house? You were not married when he bought the house, so you are basically paying for his lifestyle. You moved to another province, being a maid, doing all of the chores, and also working, and you have no stake anywhere. You also have a kid with him. Many couples pay for things based how much they make. He makes 7 times more than what you make, so you should be paying like 1,213% of everything. 100,000. 100,000 plus 700,000. 100 equals 12.5%. Instead, you are paying more than twice of that. 35%. He wants you to make 50%. I also believe you are paying more than 35%. You say you pay everything for your child. I'm sure you have not really combed through your expenses and are only considering the big ticket items, like mortgage, bills. On top of it, You are not considering all of the unpaid work you are doing. How much do you think a maid would be charging for all of the work you do? You are also putting that money there. Who has their wife do all of the chores when he is making almost $1 million and has millions in the bank? The same who does not buy any gifts. So while you are going to end up spending most of your salary on expenses, and on top of that doing all of the chores and child rearing, he is going to be pocketing like 9,095% of his salary. Assuming his total family expenses would be between $35,000 to $70,000. He is also making you use your savings to pay for your share of everything while on leave. No, stop using your savings at all. He wants you to deplete your savings so he has even more control over you. Again, he is saving millions and he wants you to use your savings while you are taking care of a baby? Anyway, everyone else's comments point out the same. That he is an and he is using money to manipulate you, control you, and keep you in check. You should consult a lawyer ASAP. So he's abusing you, giving you ultimatums, and he doesn't even support the existing child. Why are you with him again? I guess you can try counseling, but I think the only way that man will contribute as he should is if a judge orders him to. Short answer: no. If he wants you to take an 18-month maternity leave, then he needs to 100% cover all the bills during that 6 months. As for the rest of the time, you shouldn't be doing 50%. You're taking care of the child that is about the same salary as what he makes, it's worth that much. Therefore, the fact that you don't get a salary and you're dipping into your savings means that he should probably pay 80% to your 20%. He makes 800% more than you do. I get he's a bit fanatical about saving, but he's got to open his eyes. This is not a marriage. This is a transactional relationship where you have to do all the work and pay for half of everything. Also, it's not healthy for him to knock you up immediately. You should wait at least a year. I get you're 40 and it might take a little longer to get pregnant, but you need to talk to your doctor and find out what's realistic in terms of you starting to try again. You're the victim of financial abuse. It's recognized as a type of controlling domestic violence. His love for you and his child runs out when he doesn't get his own way financially. I'm sorry this is happening to you. You would be way better off if you left him and got child support. Wait a minute. He makes 10x your income and takes only an extra 15% of expenses? He wants you to stop working, but to keep paying? You do all the chores? You do know marriage is a partnership? He seems to treat you as an indentured servant more than a wife. Your relationship needs to be reevaluated. He has to pay and do his part. This is financial abuse. He is using financial threats to control and manipulate you. Jesus. He's making you pay for all the expenses related to his child? Do not have another child with this man until he stops using his wealth to abuse and control you. And yes, that is exactly what he is doing. It sounds like he is intentionally draining everything you have that could be used to leave him. He is attempting to make you completely dependent on him for food, shelter, and clothing. He wants you to feel like you must accept anything he does to you in your marriage or risk living on the streets with or without your babies. Wealthy men are particularly prone to this sort of abuse. They love the feeling of ultimate power their wealth affords them. Either he changes or you leave. That's it. What sacrifices has he made in the name of fatherhood? I stopped reading after the part where you do all the chores even though you work too. That's doormat territory. 70080. Okay? He's either lying about his income or something shady is going on. If he saves as much as you've indicated, he should have far more than 1.5 mil in savings. Anyone making that much money would have more in excess than they would know what to do with. Taking care of bills and a family is more than easy enough with that kind of income. Even if you weren't working or earning for yourself. Saving money is one thing. But if he's that extreme about it with that kind of income, there's definitely something sketchy going on. I would hire a private investigator to get down to the bottom of things. You as a mother don't deserve to get treated like that. I hate that this forum always jumps to divorce. But in this case, divorce. Get child support. This was disgusting to read. He's financially abusive. Really, you should leave. I'm sure the judge wouldn't look kindly of his behavior regarding money. Also, to nitpick here, is he paying 65% of all child-related costs, right? 65% of the nappies, the cot, the clothes, etc. will be 65% of all the nursery fees. During your period of zero income, he should at least cover 100% of his child's costs if he still wants to be slightly funny. Yes, you pay more for household expenses because you have a higher income. We would proportionally pay for expenses based on the ratio of our incomes. You wanted to live in this area. You wanted this house. But you are expecting me to pay more than I would if I chose the house. Imagine the child support you would get if you did divorce. So, financial abuse allegations aside, what does partnership mean to you? What do you want from a partner? Based on those answers, do you think your relationship is a partnership? Do you think you are being treated as a partner? Do you feel supported? Do you feel your husband is supporting your child? You'll have a much nicer maternity leave if you ditch your abuser and go for child support instead. He is treating you like a walking womb. Nanny, housekeeper and cook. Stop paying any household bills. Send him a weekly invoice for all your current labor for all the above services. He is financially abusive and his actions and expectations show not one iota of love or respect for you. Do not let your child grow up thinking that this is what a marriage or partnership should look like. You deserve so much better. No, it's not fair. It's absolutely unfair. I haven't been one to jump to this, but it's looking like he's wanting you to become completely dependent on him financially, making it harder for you to leave him. I think you're seeing the writing on the wall, and it's getting late, but it's not too late. He's finding out how much control you're going to give him. I would use your savings to work on a steady and safe plan to get y'all some help and more than likely get you and baby on track before he removes the track altogether. Jesus Christ. What do you get out of the relationship?
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Eracast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.